Hello and welcome to Castle Ward in Northern Ireland. Built in the 18th century by a couple whose vision for their marital home was so different, they split it right down the middle. Whereas his side is neoclassical elegance,
hers is a riotous Gothic fantasy. And it's here today we're joined by 8 committed artists who are wedded only to their art.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today for a brand new episode of Landscape Artist of the Year.
From 2,000 ambitious artists who applied for this year's competition, just 48 made it through to a place in our famous pods.
Getting a little bit more panicky, but it's doable.
Amid thundering hooves, lashing rain, and screams of terror, they've painted, drawn, and collaged their hearts out in the hope of winning this year's prize. A £10,000 commission for Royal Museum's Greenwich to paint a landscape inspired by Dutch fathers of seascape painting, the Van der Velders.
Along the way, they've had to impress our 3 eminent judges: Tai-Shan Scherenberg, Kate Bryan, and Kathleen Soriano.
We're using pen, ink, pencil,
Everything.
blood,
Mixed media.
sweat, tears.
Also travelling from far and wide to be here today are another 50 of our beloved wildcard artists.
Are you happy to be painting this house?
No, not really.
No.
So which of today's artists will capture the view for better
I think you're a man with a plan.
Used to me.
or worse? On their quest to become this year's Landscape Artist of the Year.
Joining us at Castle Ward today are 8 artists. Selina Buckley, a primary school teacher from Cork. Italian artist Stephano Ronkey. Art teacher and painter Chris Macaulay. And Mariam Arif, an Indian ink artist from Pinner.
Haven't had all the sleep. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm just going to try and enjoy myself.
Also taking part today are landscape gardener Nicholas Walker from Manchester, Leah McAvoy, a pastry chef from Galway, retired architect Richard Rees, who comes from London, and Nicola Hepworth, an art teacher and painter from Walthamstow.
I'm feeling quite excited. It's great to be here. It's a wonderful place, so just looking forward to getting started, really.
Our artists won their places in the competition by sending in a digital image of their artwork. Now our judges have their first chance to see them in the flesh.
Judges, another wonderful wall of submissions.
It's always great to see them in the flesh. And with this one, obviously, it's all about the sky and that wintry, watery light that comes through.
It's a beautiful symphony of greys, and I think a lot of it has to do with the way the brush marks are put down. So some are quite smudgy, and then you've got the sharp lines of the houses and the buildings. So it's playing between the softness and the sharpness to give us delineation and a bit of space.
The mark making is really beautiful here because you have something which is almost like pattern in the sky with these beautiful leaves that almost seem like they were cut out, they're too good to be true. The whole thing just sings because you really understand that it's a bright, sunny day, and yet there's no colour here to tell me that.
Let's move on.
There's some beautiful colours in here, and it feels very European. It could be the 2 figures in the bottom, but I feel it's not English.
I love the use of colour, like that really sharp yellow and that beautiful royal blue that they're using to edge some of the stones. It's a wonderful combination. Well, now I'm transported to the mountains in Mallorca, the almond blossom. It's that lovely dibby-dabby painting. There's touches of pink and white, but then they're complemented by the touches of green in the grass below.
Yeah.
You feel the air, don't you? You feel the air underneath the trees.
I'm always intrigued when artists pick very odd viewpoints and edit it down, so it's absolutely abstract. I think it's sort of testing oneself as an artist. Can I get all these things, all these crazy shapes, and put it down, pastel. You know, this is very unusual material to use for something like this, and somehow the whole thing works as a whole.
Now, judges, you have quite a lot to answer for in having selected this admission.
How could we refuse it, though? I mean, it's Hieronymus Bosch meets a sci-fi film, meets I don't know what. We've definitely wanted to have a conversation about what landscape is to different people, and this is clearly a landscape painting to this artist.
There's so much information. Every time I look, I find things. Is that Stonehenge? Is that someone from Jurassic Park? I mean, essentially, though, it feels a bit like Midsummer Night's Dream.
Here is something totally believable and recognisable.
This is Collage. It's lovely and bold, it's fresh, it's like a palette cleanser.
And what's so lovely about it is its clarity. Everything is very charmingly handmade, and I think it's that sort of graphic and the organic that is really rather charming.
And finally, a surprising interior.
Well, it's very meta, isn't it? So it's a landscape painting in and of itself, and then you've got two paintings on the wall, and then beyond that, you've got what we're led to believe is a real landscape as opposed to a painted landscape. So fantastic sense of illusion, trickery, and games.
Yeah, lots of games being played here.
They've got a wonderful building to deal with today, so they can go and play. Artists, I hope you have all you need to capture the spirit of this majestic building in all its Gothic glory.
You have 4 hours to complete your challenge, and the time starts now.
Today, our artists will have to get to grips with this rather eccentric house of two halves. They're facing the elaborate Gothic facade with its pointed windows, finials and battlements, designed by the lady of the house, Anne Ward. And around the corner, the Palladian side of the house couldn't be more different, with Ionic columns and a grand pediment, designed by Anne's husband, Bernard. But on this gloomy morning, the entire house is engulfed by a flat grey light, which will make it hard for our artists to achieve a sense of depth and definition.
Super cool. I would like the judges to give us some shadow to put on the building, because there is no. I like it.
It's beautiful, you know, but I wouldn't want to be its window cleaner, really.
It's pretty in your face that this side of the house, which is the Gothic side, obviously, the other side's the Palladian, but it's right up in front of them.
But I'm glad they've got the Gothic side, because it gives them the tracery and the details and the pinnacles and just a bit more juicy as opposed to the other side.
I just wonder whether there's going to be enough interest there.
Well, it's all to do with the light, isn't it? Because I think for a building like that, if the sun comes out and we get these fantastic contrast, shadow, light, the way the sun might hit the window panes, that's where we could get the really interesting things happening. If the weather stays grey like this, it's going to be very flat and we're going to get into problems.
I'm quite excited about today's artists. Kooky and natural storytellers, I think, a lot of them.
Yeah, so I don't just want to see this house, I want to really see this house.
And feel it.
While most of today's artists are getting up close and personal to the Gothic facade, one has been seduced by the classical elegance of the Palladian side.
And the story is about this house is it's a house of two halves. It is slightly bonkers. As an architect, having a house which is one style on one side and one style on the other side is so strange. And I want to respond to that.
Richard Rees is a retired architect from London. He's intrigued by quirky buildings, and his submission, depicting some of London's recognisable landmarks, is rendered in pastels and acrylic ink.
Now, you are an architect.
I was, yes, I'm now retired.
We're looking at one of the most extraordinary pieces of architecture.
Yes. The thing about this building is that you've got this conflict between the male and the female. So I'm going to actually draw both facades. It will be as though the building is transparent, and I'm going to do a shadow of the other side.
That's very ambitious.
Yes.
But why not?
Well, why not?
Sadly, it's going to take more than artistic ambition to make the sun come out, making things much harder for another of today's artists.
Bright things make me happy. It's really the sun on the landscape that draws me, the shadows. When it's cloudy, it's more of a challenge because you can't see the colours that much, and you have to sort of try and interpret what's there more.
Nicholas Walker is a garden designer from Manchester, whose speedy, plein-air painting style allows him to chase the light. His submission was created in just 2 hours when he came across a grove of almond trees in blossom one dazzling morning in Spain.
Nick, you've made quite speedy work of this.
Have I?
Do you normally work this fast?
I do, yeah, I do.
So say, for example, you get to halfway through the day and you think, that's nearly done. Are you going to do another one?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
OK. I mean, 2 paintings in one day, you make it sound so simple.
So I'm trying to get this cerulean blue in, because that started to
Beautiful,
creep
isn't
in.
it? Where's this blue come from? In Northern Ireland, that was the first time I've seen that.
Well, in a minute, it's going to completely change, isn't it? So
Yeah.
maybe that's the time then to stop and try and do another one with the light on the building.
OK, yeah, the weather is the boss of us all. It's good to be adaptable.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not just our 8 pod artists navigating the morning's rather gloomy weather. Over at the Palladian side of Castle Ward are our 50 wildcards, some of whom are taking a decidedly laid-back approach to the day ahead.
I'm not too sure which way I want to go at the moment, whether to put a few of the artists in or just concentrate on the building.
Taking the building would be quite boring for me. So I took the corner of the building with the slight background in the far mountains so that it looks like something more crowded.
They're competing for just 1 wildcard place in this year's semi-final. I'm very intrigued by your board.
Yeah.
Is it a floorboard?
It's essentially the only thing I could bring with me to paint because we'd moved from Liverpool to live on the Isle of Mull.
They don't have lots of big art superstores.
No, they don't have any kind of superstore.
The medium of collage is often a surprise at the end. I don't know what it's going to be like until the end, and that's exciting.
Collage artist Selina Buckley is a primary school teacher from County Cork in Ireland. Her painstaking submission of a grain store on the Cork docks was created using homemade printed paper topped with acrylic inks and pencil.
I'm so interested to talk to you because when I saw your submission on the wall, I couldn't work out what you'd made it with, because it seemed to me like you'd almost printed every little bit of paper yourself.
Yeah.
And then cut it up. Is that exactly what you do?
That's exactly what I do. So you can see here the different textures.
You've got them arranged here in very specific colour blocks.
Yeah, I know that these screens here are going to be the grass. These are going to be the trees.
I mean, it's basically your palette, isn't
Yeah.
it? It seems to me like you've got a great tonal range there. You've got the block of the house there in front of you. Great.
Thank you.
While most of our artists get to grips with the looming edifice of Castle Ward itself, one has turned his back on the view the judges have chosen.
I just turned the canvas and turned the point of view to spice things up. And I tried to put on top something weird.
Stephano Ronkey is an Italian artist from Milan. He describes himself as a punk surrealist painter, producing strange landscapes filled with imaginary details. His submission painting features a menagerie of fantastical creatures bathed in mysterious light.
A very obvious question firstly. Why are you facing the wrong way?
I like that.
It is very beautiful, isn't it?
It's a pity to don't paint that. When that is nice, and now we paint that flying around.
Flying around, okay. You know, we saw your submission. Are we going to get a similar surreal situation, which is...
Yeah, probably here. I can see maybe a lizard, a shark.
A lizard and a shark?
Yeah.
Cool. It sounds so much more fun than the way I paint.
Yeah.
It sounds really
It's very
good.
fun.
But with the first hour up, the fun is over, and it's time to get serious.
I've made my mind up. I'm going to do it like this. If I don't push it through with conviction, then it won't work.
I'm reaching the ugly stage of the painting. I think the perfect word is anxiety.
If it gets windy or it starts raining, the glue won't stick and papers will start flying everywhere, but I'll do my best.
At Castle Ward in Northern Ireland, 8 artists are grappling with the Gothic splendour of this unusual house. And in the face of all that architectural detail, one artist is keeping it simple.
You've got to abstract, take things out, and try and be as minimal with the marks as possible. So you're not just kind of doing like a topographical representation of windows.
Art teacher Chris Macaulay's abstract landscapes use simple, powerful compositions to evoke atmosphere and mood. In his submission painting of Morecambe Bay in Lancashire, he played with the ratio of land and sky to give the work a sense of foreboding.
Chris, you're starting with a composition which almost seems to be undoing the building.
Well, I've undone lots of initial ideas of placement of the building.
We saw, of course, in your submission that it became very atmospheric because of the composition. What's your feeling about how you'll place this building today and how you'll give it context, I suppose?
Well, I've decided to go with a smaller scale building with more of these sort of diagonals that are in the picture.
I think you're a man with a plan. I think...
Used to me.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It looks like it's quite strategic. It's looking good.
I want to try and show that there's 2 sides to the building. So I'll probably take one section of the building, props on the end, and try and show that there's something else around the corner.
Art teacher Nicola Hepworth creates vivid landscapes with a sense of history. Her submission painting of a graveyard near her home in Walthamstow used a close-up perspective to draw the viewer into the scene.
Nicola, you've got the neoclassical Palladian bit visible as well.
Yeah, I was trying to get personality into the house, 2 personalities, I suppose. The idea of that bit sort of is slightly different, and creeping around you can just see the windows are different and maybe the colour will be different in a bit.
So I get this feeling with you, the story is the most important thing.
I think so.
I like the idea that you've got the Mr. and Mrs. part sort of working. in the
Trying to,
painting.
yeah.
No, it's looking joyous. Is this a beautiful house, or...?
Well, it's a house with a split personality. It's quite weird, isn't it? Although I do notice that it's her side of the house that gets the good view.
That is interesting, because I was going to ask you, which side would you live in? And I prefer the Palladian side.
Oh, well, I prefer the Gothic side. We should get married. If I was an artist looking at this, I would think, OK, a lot of windows. How do I get out of doing that?
Yeah.
Where would you begin?
Well, with that view.
You'd turn around.
And interesting, one of the artists has done exactly that. But there are a couple of artists who've gone with its intricate windows and the facade and everything about it. It's an interesting thing to give an artist.
Well, as the old song goes, you say potato, I say potato. Your facade is a Palladian neoclassical design and mine is a Gothic fantasy. This Gothic fantasy might be proving something of a nightmare for one of today's artists.
One thing that's quite important for me is to have contrast, because I'm painting usually in just one colour. I like to see lots of daylight and lots of shadow, which is going to be a little bit tricky today. So I might have to be a bit more inventive.
Indian ink artist Mariam Arif typically works with just one colour, relying heavily on bright light to create contrast and give texture to her landscapes. Her submission piece of a church near her home was created on a fine and sunny day.
Mariam, good morning.
Hello.
So it's not my house, but it is a very fine house. What do you think of it?
It's very beautiful, very Gothic, and on an overcast day, it's seeming very dark.
There's a flatness to it.
And I think working in monochrome, it's actually quite tricky to create interest without the light and shade.
Can you fake it?
I am definitely doing some invention.
Right.
As part of the work.
Listen, you never know. The sun might come out for you anyway.
Keep our fingers crossed.
As our pod artists pray for the sun, for some of the wild cards, the excitement of the day is all proving a bit too much.
Is that one big pastel bar? Yeah, it's so
quite
yummy.
like
I mean, it
that.
really does
I
look...
liked it a little bit gestural, just to kind of have a play.
You've included the Arras fencing.
Yes, I mean, I thought it added something to the building, and in my former career, I did a lot of construction sites, so I'm quite used to this material.
Around about you is rather chaotic.
Yes.
Is that how you live?
Yes, I think my friends might say this is looking a bit like my studio already, yeah.
There's something about this house that gets into the people's mind.
I think it's so closed. And actually, most of the artists, I think what they've done is they've put a story on it, or they found these beautiful little pathways. You know, there's a passageway through there, taking them way out, trying to get to the lake, trying to get beyond the house. It's almost like the house is this monolithic problem. I think there are quite a few in here that I'm really quite keen on today.
It's a nice spirit here, isn't it?
Really nice spirit.
Back at the other side of the building, the Gothic spirit has clearly taken possession of one of our pod artists.
I love all the lines in the windows and the shapes of them, and I'll have fun putting in them. So that's my happy place.
Leah McAvoy is a pastry chef from Galway. She loves capturing intricate details, and her submission painting, A Restaurant Interior, is filled with meticulous features from chairs to miniature landscapes.
What do you make of it?
Yeah, no, I really like it. I really love the windows and the two different types of windows as well. It's like multiple personalities.
Yeah. How complicated. Now, are you going to fill in the windows?
Yeah, I love that detailed work. That's when the painting really comes to life for me.
It really will.
It's going all right. The paint's drying quickly. Touch wood.
But with half of their 4-hour competition time gone, some of our artists are feeling the pressure.
It's a really, really delicate point where if I put too much ink down, I won't have the contrast that I'm looking for, and it will just look like one flat mess.
It's coming out of the ugly phase. Once I see that turn, then I'll calm down and really get into it. But it's just hell for leather until it gets there.
At Castle Ward in County Down, the sun has finally decided to make an appearance as our 8 artists settle into the second half of the competition.
Well, because the sun's come out and the sky's changed, I've got to make a decision which way to go, whether to introduce some of this, if it enhances the picture or not.
This bright new outlook has prompted Nick to abandon his morning canvas and start afresh.
So, Nick, second painting.
Well, yeah, the weather's suddenly changed and it's a completely different thing now. So I just thought I'd use the rest of the time just to do another one to try and get a more sunny scene.
Is this your last canvas, Nick? Are we
Yes,
going to
it
see
is.
only 2 paintings today?
It's 2 paintings today.
2 paintings, Nick.
While Stephano has decided to move away from the surreal and return to the view the judges gave him.
My goal was to do a background a bit different, but then, of course, the main subject should be there.
I'm just cutting the bits that I don't want off of this because it's time to start getting my composition ready on the next big piece of paper. It's quite hard to cut out at speed.
All of today's artists are trying to impress our 3 judges. So what do they make of progress so far? Well, this programme does take us to some very pleasant places, doesn't it? We have an extraordinary house. But is this difficult to paint?
Well, I don't know. I think we've got a group of artists today that are very much in their comfort zone with this kind of view.
I mean, it is monolithic and not particularly attractive, but none of them are having a problem with it.
I wouldn't say no to living here.
Yeah, this looks better than my house. Selina's been holding up bits of paper and does she have a composition yet? We're halfway through the day.
It's interesting because a painter has to know the composition very early doors, whereas Selina doesn't have that approach at all. The composition sort of finds her. So it's sort of a magical mystery tour. We don't really know where it's going.
Nicholas has finished a painting of the house, but is doing another one.
I'm looking at Nicholas's work and thinking, OK, now we're going to get going.
Right.
But there is something rather sort of traditional about the view. So maybe he's just had to paint this out of his system.
Yeah.
And the second one will be a bit more interesting.
Leah has given us, boof, the house. A portrait of a house, full frame. There it is.
Yes, I mean, she's been really unafraid of getting up close and personal.
Yeah. But does that mean she's now going to spend the rest of the day toiling away at windows?
I mean, she's got like an afternoon, just like a marathon of window painting. There's so many. And I'm a bit worried for her because she's quite realist. She works with what's in front of her. You know, these windows are going to have to come alive.
Stephano's not having what's in front of him, is he? He's creating a landscape, using his imagination, moving stuff around. Is it working?
He's delivering. You know, he gave us that incredible submission, and I think he's beginning to invest some of those strange characters and hieroglyphs and meanings. It's just starting to come in. No colour at the minute, just the black and white. I don't know if he's going to stick with that.
But there is this time element at play. His imagination runs riot. I mean, it's fabulous. And he needs to make sure that he can take us with him.
Chris is very confident. He's very happy with his composition. Do you feel the same way?
I feel very confident about Chris. I mean, he makes it look easy. This is really him and his sweet spot. His submission was just fantastically foreboding and full of drama and narrative. And I really hope he can bring some of that to this building.
Nicola is giving us a corner of the building. Feels like he's trying to tell a story.
I love the fact that the architecture itself has got a personality, in a way, because she brings those colours to it. So I think it's really, really strong. I don't want it to get too densely populated with information.
Richard's architectural background is on fire.
He's got this incredible vision about giving us almost an architectural fly-through that I'm not sure he's left himself enough time to actually do it.
Mariam is sort of embracing the Gothic feel.
I'm a bit worried about Mariam because she's nervous of her own materials. She's chosen these Indian inks, which she says, you know, can only really work by building up very light washes. But the one advantage I think that we have is that the light is really on her side now.
I mean, she loves her medium. I'm going to withhold judgment.
But later there will be the hammer blow of judgment.
Judgment is coming.
Judgment coming.
Mariam, on your drawing, there's lots of crustiness.
To create a little bit of texture, I've added salt to some of the paint while it was wet.
OK, and now you take it off?
Yeah, then I'll find out if it's a disaster underneath or... It's ended up a little darker than I was expecting, but I think it works.
Built in 1760, Castle Ward is the architectural legacy of a troubled marriage between Anne and Bernard, Lord and Lady Bangor. So different was their taste, the house was split down the middle, inside as well as out. Bernard felt an elegant classical interior was the perfect way to make a statement.
The classical side is very much inspired by the 16th century architect Palladio. And the features of this Palladian classical style are proportion, reason, and balance.
Whilst Lady Anne's side of the house, with its elegant arches, fine tracery and stained glass windows, is as much a testament to her remarkable character as to her Gothic tastes.
Lady Anne was incredibly independent, as well as being incredibly unconventional. And so she could play out her fantasies, her styles, as she saw fit.
250 years on, the split personality of Castle Ward continues to fascinate, delight, and occasionally challenge the odd artist.
You have quite a busy head, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a bit like when you tune a radio and you go through all the stations and you
all
pick up a
together,
little bit of this,
yeah,
a little bit of that, and a bit of static. We've got a sort of, is that an alien on the left? What is this, a penguin or a dancing bear? Or
Well, it could be both.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I don't know, a dancing bear maybe.
Dancing bear, yeah.
Sort of doing a...
Yeah.
I want to put a figure in this because this house was built for 2 people, so I want to put Lady Anne in the painting as part of the story.
At the Palladian side, our wildcards have been busy capturing Bernard's classical vision.
I didn't want the whole house to be in it. I just wanted a dominant aspect of it with a little bit of the trees in the background.
You haven't gone into the fine detail in the windows. Are you tempted? Are you not going to touch this house anymore?
I'm probably going to take this off the easel in a minute and try and leave it alone because I don't really want to go too far.
I like that you have to physically take it off the easel and walk away.
My brother's here somewhere, so if you see him dragging me down the field later, that's why. So.
And the judges have been keeping an eye on their efforts.
What an amazing bunch of wildcard artists. I want to take loads of them through. It's extremely strong.
I have seen the guy under the tree, though.
Yeah, that's great, the Van Gogh
That was a clever
one.
use of the branches to try to frame it.
But it's really interesting. It's very different. It's got a lot of energy.
And there's a woman working on paper with pastels, wild colours, quite feathery.
Lyrical
They're really
colours,
lovely.
really
What's
lovely.
interesting is the very long, thin work, like a big wingspan.
Yeah, really, really nice. He's turned slightly left and he's got this cottage which is nestled down in the hills.
Also gives you the story of the house and sense of formal gardens, buildings that are part of the whole estate and compressed in this letterbox. It's a very clever way of dealing with it.
So I think we've got 3 really, really good ones, haven't we?
Yeah,
that
almost too many good ones today. Hello, you're our wildcard winner. It's so interesting seeing it evolve throughout the day, and we got a bit nervous after lunch that you might go too far.
Me too.
And so it was great. I saw you go off on a walk, and I thought, that's a good sign. Have you enjoyed it?
It's been incredible.
Well, this is a nice ending to a good day, then. Pleasure.
I'm incredibly shocked and surprised. It's been the exact kind of thing I needed to send me in the right direction, which is carry on making art all over the world. I want to travel and paint.
Matthew Timmins-Williams from Mull will enter a pool of wildcard winners from all the heats, just one of whom will be chosen to compete in the semi-final.
Over at Lady Anne's side of the house, our pod artists are getting their finest brushes out to tackle the endless Gothic features.
Final stages, so the fun line work in my eyes.
I'm a bit worried about this top bit being slightly out of whack, so I'm just fiddling with it.
I'm very conscious that I have a lot to do.
At Castle Ward in County Down, 8 artists are in the final few minutes of today's heat.
Oh, no. Tell me what's happening.
I'm running out of time, so I need to get this stuck on and figure out my composition.
So you feel a bit under pressure, don't you?
Yeah.
Go, go, go. You have so many options here.
So many options.
So you're finessing the final details?
Yeah, I'm trying to save, what can I say, like when a boat is sinking.
Ah, there's no sinking boat. You're being too hard on yourself.
Getting a little bit more panicky, but it's doable. I'm on the top row.
Artists, you have 5 minutes left.
I've done as much as I can. I think this will have to do.
Artists, your time is up. It's the end of today's challenge.
Please stop working and stand away from your easels.
The judges can only pick one artist to send through to the semi-final. To help their decision, they'll narrow them down to just 3.
How could this house yield so much different art?
They've all found something, and I think it's partly to do with the weirdness of the building.
Selina's got this kind of lovely, quirky quality to her practice. Everything off-kilter. I do think it's absolutely brilliant the way that she's been able to focus so intensely on that building for so long.
I'm glad Nicola started a second painting.
Absolutely.
Because what we've got here is just a landscape with space and light. The light is bouncing off everything.
And weighting those trees on the left-hand side with the building just pulls it all together really well, especially with the foreground of vegetation. And what he's painting is more the feeling of the day rather than the specifics.
I think Leah's work is a bit of a slow burn. It was really a sort of love letter to all these windows that she was so taken with, and she did find time to nearly complete them all. Stephano is not lacking narrative.
I like the idea that he was displeased with what he was given and was going to combine the whole thing to create this building in this landscape.
Yes, it's a sort of a fried egg, and it's an eyeball, and it's a beast, and it's weird, but it's something you just cannot stop looking at. Chris's work is just really magnificent. It's such a study in mood and weather, although we didn't really have this weather today. We had it for a very short period this morning. But I'm glad he didn't compromise, because the effect on the house is unbelievable.
I love the way Nicola tried to combine going down the side, giving us both the Gothic and the neoclassical Palladian.
I mean, it is charmingly painted, isn't it? I love the colours, I love all the details in the brickwork. I would have loved to see her just have a bit more space.
Did Richard succeed in his ambition to give us almost a sort of fly-through architecturally these spaces? I'm not so sure. I feel like I'm looking at a theatre set or an opera set, and the character there is almost like one of the actors.
I love the way that he works with these oil pastels, that it creates really beautiful effects.
Mariam was lucky this afternoon that the light came out, because
Yes.
it allowed her to bring those shadows in, and also to give that range of treatment in the foliage in the right-hand side that makes it interesting alongside the more blocky nature of the brickwork.
The mark making, I think, is phenomenal. It's such a variety, and they all describe different surfaces and volumes.
So, I have 5.
Yeah, I've got 4. I think we're going to have a bit of a difficult conversation today, because there's a lot to choose from.
When it's like that, and I'm sort of working with my brain, I then suddenly think, maybe I should work with my gut. What would I like to take home?
Artists, thank you for being such wonderful competitors. Now it's time to reveal which 3 have been selected by the judges to go forward.
The first artist is Selina Buckley.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
The second artist is Stephano Ronkey.
The third artist is Chris Macaulay.
Our commiserations to the rest of you. It doesn't mean that we don't have a high regard for the work you've done. And thank you very much for being here.
The judges now have the difficult task of picking today's winner. To help them with their decision, they also take into consideration the artist's submission pieces.
So, judges, the shortlist of 3. Selina, first of all.
I love Selina's work for its crispness and its minimalism, in a sense, and I think that's what took her so long. And in a funny way, if I look at her submission, there is sunlight on that scene, and today there was no light, and you can see, when you compare them, that she's very careful about sort of recreating the daylight.
That intense care and that very slow process, offset by a cloud that looked like it was done in a hurry.
I find the cloud a little bit of a distraction, but I'll forgive her. You know, it was 4 hours, and I think she just thought, I'm going to put this on at the last minute.
Stephano, there's not much to talk about with his work.
Nah.
What is going on in his head, I think, is the question. It's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, also, what's going on in yours? Because this is a competition for landscape.
Joan, it's got mountains in the background, the hills, the clouds.
Yes,
it's got everything.
It's not that it doesn't have something in it. It's just that it's got everything in it.
This is all from his imagination, and he's given us a believable landscape. I recognise the view.
I think, Joan, you're absolutely right. The submission was a real risk for us because the language is so different. But I'm really relieved that, because I really think the risk paid off. Is it what we always have in the show? No. Will we have lots of these in the show? No. Could we resist this? No.
Chris has given us 2 atmospheric paintings. What do you like about his work?
I like Chris's work because it's cold, barren and empty. And it speaks to me. But I think that coldness and that emptiness really married well with the house today. And I didn't realise until I saw the submission that that coldness and that emptiness is there in the Morecambe Bay view as well.
I think he's a great painter, and it's a very atmospheric piece of painting.
Well, what an interesting and varied choice we have today. You've got to pick one of them to go through, but they couldn't be more different, could they?
No.
Selina, Stephano, Chris, well done for getting this far, but only one artist from today can go through to the semi-final.
And the artist whom the judges have selected is Stephano Ronkey.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I can chill, really, for a while. Finally, I can enjoy Northern Ireland without the think of me painting very fast. Yeah. Oh, very cool. Oh, my God.
He understood that he needed to pare it down for today. He stuck with monochrome. He went small, but he made it interesting still. And then he thought very carefully about this building and what it represented. And then he applied his own magic to it.
Well done.
Grazie. If I have to choose the painting, I would probably not choose mine. I would choose someone else, so I'm very happy about it.
I do not dare to begin to imagine anything that Stephano might give us in the semi-final, and that's what I love about him.